front of their faithful at Leichhardt Oval. It's round 12 of the Ninja A-League, and it is Australia's M1 derby. Sydney FC facing off against their opponents just up the highway in Gosford, the Central Coast Mariners. Crucial 3 points on offer for Sydney FC to get their season back on track, and for the Mariners, a chance to climb into the top 6 this evening. Very good afternoon to you. My name is Kate Allman. Pleasure to be bringing you Women's A-League football on this sunny Sunday, looking a little different to the weather we had here on Wednesday night. Of course, the defending champions had their first taste of almost victory as they were 2 goals up as we were interrupted by lightning, but none of that around today as the crowd has come out in force to see their Sky Blues hopefully put on that kind of performance once more. Let's take a look at how the Sky Blues are going to line up now. Ante Urich's Chargers, as I mentioned, were in brilliant form on Wednesday night against Canberra before the play was halted due to a thunderstorm. And with things going so well, he's named the exact same extended squad for this Sunday afternoon. Same starters, same bench. Halfway through the season, is this the recipe for success in Sky Blue? Now, one of these players is going to be a crucial part of success today. Lucy Johnson, she is on an absolute heater. Had 3 goals in her past 3 games, including on Wednesday night. And while injury plagued her season last year, she took a little while to come back. Only played 5 games so far this season, but is already the team's leading scorer and clearly having a massive impact. With finishing being an issue for Sydney, she could be the game changer. Central Coast Mariners are coming off a 2-1 win against Western Sydney Wanderers last weekend. They've had a full 7 days rest compared to Sydney's 3 days. Now, we've got the same lineup here. They were dominant and could easily have scored more goals, so coach Emily Husband has put in the same team. One change to the bench, though. 21-year-old Lily McMahon takes the place of Leah Puxty. Well, Taylor Ray, we are used to seeing her in the Sky Blue. The midfielder will be facing off against her former team where she won 3 Ninja A-League championships and spent 7 seasons. Came up to Gosford after all that time with the Sky Blues and had an instant impact. She's played every minute of every game, more touches than any other player, and a really high percentage of duels won, 80% passing accuracy record. If anyone knows how to win over the defending champions, it might be one of them herself, and that is Taylor Ray. Expect her to come up big. Ante Urich thrilled with the form his team showed on Wednesday night against Canberra. He said he was pleased with the energy, the attitude focus, and it could easily have been 7 or 8 goals with the amount of chances they created. He'll look to bring a similar intensity to this game and get on the scoreboard early. Big thank you to our referee, Kelly Jones, today. She's assisted by Emma Cockbeck and Alexis Johnson. The 4th official is Sam Kelly. Well, Central Coast Mariners coach Emily Husband had a slow start, but they've strung some wins together, and last week they did get a win. They had a draw prior to that. She's pleased with the growth in the team, but there's still plenty of work to do, especially in terms of taking opportunities and making the most of big moments in the box. She's also explicitly aware that any team, including Sydney, at any moment can beat anybody on the pitch in this league. So nothing is for certain, nothing is taken for granted, even when you are playing a team that has languished at the bottom of the ladder. Everything is on the table here for both sides. We await the kickoff. The crowd take their seats and we get set for this round 12 match in the Ninja A-League. So we're underway. Central Coast Mariners looking to get back into the top 6, and Sydney FC hoping to turn their season around after spending most of the first half in the L column. Want to get back into the winner's circle. They were almost there on Wednesday night when they played here at Leichhardt. Had play interrupted after halftime, and they were 2-0 up against Canberra, showing some incredible form Princess Abini scored the first goal, set up by her captain, Nat Tobin. And the second goal coming from Lucy Johnson. Aside from that game, Sydney have not scored more than 2 goals at any other point in the season. So Mariners looking to get out of their defensive half early in this match. They make their way through Galich and Jade Pennock, who's been an absolute star at the front. Taylor Ray, first touches on the ball. And Quilligan. Oh, lovely intercept there by Sydney. Here they come, an opportunity early. It's pushed away. Evans can't keep it in for the Mariners. You'd expect Sydney to go aggressive early. That's what worked for them on Wednesday night. As Faye Bryson sets up to throw this in. Ball forward. Headed up to a dangerous spot. Got to be careful with it here. The Mariners, they're going to go all the way back to the goalkeeper, Sarah Langman. Got a bit of work to do as Abini puts pressure on. It's taken down by Chauvet for Sydney. On the left side, Talon Henniker couldn't get past the defence. Chauvet sends it out the other way, looking for Indiana Dos Santos, but it's interrupted by Central Coast. Their turn to attack. Rasmussen was making a run forward. Pennock couldn't find her. Will go back instead. Taylor Ray. Ball forward. Oh, a chance now for Evans. She's one-on-one. Takes it inside. Left boot strike. Oh, it's saved. A chance to follow up. Rasmussen couldn't get it over the top. Third strike. And finally, Brianna Edwards dives on it. She lifts her left hand to stay calm, but I don't think there was much to be calm about there. That was a crucial error, almost led to a mistake. How it was not finished by Rasmussen, I have no idea. But Sydney get away with one there, and they won't get away with that one as Lucy Johnson sends a left shoulder a little too hard into her opposing player. There it is, Taylor Ray it was. So Sky Blue on former Sky Blue. Nice touch forward by Evans. Rasmussen's going to try again. Makes the turn, does the 360. Brooke Nunn, one of the most impactful, aggressive players. Here's Rowe, cross, and no yellow shirts there, but Evans is going to wind up. Well saved by the Sky Blue defence. Evans can't get on the end of that one. There is plenty already in this match. Last time these two teams met, the Mariners got out on top and took home a comprehensive 3-1 win. That was back in round 1. Obviously, Sydney looking a different team since then. You can hear in the crowd there's a fierce history between these teams, headlined by the final series last year. And the Sky Blues progressed to the grand final at the Mariners' expense with a 2-1 aggregate victory across 2 semi-final legs. Nunn, fancy footwork, trying to get around Chauvet, does go backwards instead to go forwards. Quilligan. Rowe on the right wing. Looks for an option through the middle. That's Quilligan. Sydney's just putting so much pressure on these players in the midfield. Ray. Taylor Ray launches one to the left side. It's brought down. Galich tried to find Nunn, but interrupted by Chauvet, and Chauvet does win that battle. And Brooke Nunn not happy with that. One of the most interesting and fun players to watch, Brooke Nunn. but aggressive, and often finds herself on the wrong side of an infringement for it. Faye Bryson, the Englishwoman's going to throw this in straight off the boot of Lucy Johnson, and they'll just give it back to the Mariners at midfield here. That is sky high, and they will turn it straight back over to the Sky Blues. Both these sides very different looking to how we expected them in the start of the season, both hampered by injuries. Sydney's missing Kaya Simon, Millie Farrow, Kirsty Fenton, and the Mariners as well. A couple of injuries, Ash Irwin and Izzy Gomez notably with their knee injuries. Both sides having to retool and figure out who can step up as the shooting and scoring reliable players. Brooke Nunn has played that role a little. Taylor Ray takes a run forward. Nice connection with Nunn and no connection ahead. Oh, that was fast. Run down by Sydney FC's Jordan Thompson in defence. Just wanted to stop that from getting up the sideline. Here's the throw in, looking for Nunn. Couldn't quite collect it. Two-time Women's Super League champion, 31 years old, a product of Arsenal Academy, and that might explain some of the aggression. She's been on the books of the Gunners women, picking up multiple trophies there. Played around the world, actually, Brooke Nunn. Got on the scoreboard for the first time in the A-League last weekend, and there's a look at the accuracy of the passes for the Mariners. They've taken a lot more passes than Sydney. Here they go again. Can they set up Evans? Not if Faye Bryson has anything to say about it. Talon Henniker. Caspers out to Bryson. Getting physical here already. Bryson nicely won with the help of Chauvet and then sent off sideline. Brooke Nunn being harangued by two Sky Blue players, and Ante Uric was calling for the foul. No foul given. Abini's going to turn into the midfield, go inside. Chauvet. Over to the other side. Schumeth might have an opportunity this way. Oh, a nice touch in, looking for Dos Santos and Caspers. Almost interrupted. Kaylee Talon Henniker working on Rowe. Evans has got to go back. Some nervy moments there for the Central Coast Mariners as Nat Tobin recollects it at the back for Sydney and sets up Talon Henniker. Had a couple of starts in a row and really finding her form. Talon Henniker looks for the cross, just sends it off the back, over the goal line, into the back netting. First real look at a cross from that side for Talon Henniker. Sarah Langman kicks it out for the Mariners. 3 clean sheets for her this season. Finds Evans. And Bryson happy to send that over the sideline. Evans, obviously one of the most threatening forwards in And any team in the competition, real speed and real talent, she gets out in space. Rowe. There's Evans, nice touch on. Wasn't on the same page with Nunn. Ray and Rowe are forced backwards by Ibini. Taylor Ray acutely aware of how the Blues line up and how she might penetrate through their midfield, having played in it for 7 seasons. Here's Nash. Came over from Melbourne Victory this season. Taylor Ray goes forward again and finds Galich on the sideline. That's just going to go over the sideline once more for a throw-in. Well, there's a few fans from Central Coast in the crowd. Just a couple of yellow bucket hats. Not looking too excited yet. Obviously very outnumbered by the Sky Blue fans. Talon Henniker turns the Jets on, and she's going to win the foot race against Rowe. Turns the corner. Has she got across? Talon Henniker, oh, so close. Faith Bryson did some gut running to get up ahead of her and was there, but just run out of gas. Lost her footing and lost the opportunity to score. Almost. Might get a second chance here. Oh, that was a late tackle at best. Is there going to be a card? No card. Free kick outside the box. This was coming in from Quilligan and really took her ankles out there. Lucky to not have anything worse as Bryson had her eyes up looking for goal. So instead, the Sky Blues have a set piece from a very dangerous spot as Indiana Dos Santos, their teenage sensation, lines it up, curls it to a dangerous area. Oh, 2 players hit the post hard, and one of them is a Mariners player in all sorts there. Oh, Quilligan in the ribs, that really does hurt. Immediately, players come to her side to help out. There's a lot said about the toughness of football players, and no mistaking that one really does hurt. We hope she's okay and she'll get some medical attention now. It was a really high curling ball. It was really well done by Langman to get her fingertip to it. Bryson was coming in for the header as Quilligan came at the same moment, and rather than collect each other's heads, I think Quilligan did the team thing and sort of went away from the other player, ended up hurting herself more than she would have liked, but that is a good thing to see. Gets up of her own accord, definitely a little gingerly. Almost a hip injury. You can see her working out the hip flexors. Back in live action, Sydney FC is going to take this corner. A short one. Caspers looked for a cross and straight to Langman, who dives on that. So 2 set pieces for Sydney in a row, nothing coming from them. Lucy Johnson, 3 goals scored. Hoofs one over to Ibini. Ibini's got to beat a couple. Caspers now has to beat another. Almost got bumped off the ball, kept it within her stride. Sends it back to her teenage teammate, Dos Santos. Tumeth coming through at pace. Tumeth off the crossbar. That That would have been something special from Tori Tumeth. Has a laugh, but gee, the aggression and the opportunity was there. I'm sure the coach would be happy with the opportunity to take the shot. Decision was correct one, just not the correct execution, but very close. Nonetheless, another chance might be coming, and not on that occasion. Well, Tumeth, the way she hit that at pace and took it in her stride, came through all the defence and sent Sarah Langman flying. It was inches from going in to the top netting. Would have been one for the highlight reel, and you can see her regretting that, just the way she hit it. It sailed a little more than she would have liked. Sydney dominating early. Interesting part of this as well. Whoever scores first, statistically, is most likely to win this game. Sydney have not won a game when they conceded first in any game in the season. And the Mariners win or draw any game they score first in. So Sydney really wants to be the first on the scoreboard tonight. Likewise, the Mariners, they get up. Statistically, Sydney don't usually come back. Abini working hard, nearly won it. Lost control at the late. Sydney go again. Johnson threading it through to Abini. Pressure on her back. Tumeth, Chauvet it is. Bryson, sent it out wide, a little too hot for Kaylee Talon-Handicka, and Monte Uric in the background is hanging his head. There was an opportunity gone begging. Caspers, nice footwork. Johnson in tight quarters. Galich steals it away for the Mariners. That's well worked. Now Taylor Ray to set up Jade Pennock. Setting up Nunn as well. Got a couple to beat. Came off a sky blue, so that's still the Mariners. Brooke Nunn chases it down, can't get to it. Got her first goal last weekend in the game against the Western Sydney Wanderers purely from gut running and putting pressure on the goalkeeper. Brooke Nunn. And while we look again at Quilligan, who I think is still clutching at that hip that she hit on the goalpost earlier. And if I know hip injuries, I know they can be really slow to come back from. So we really hope the best for Tess Quilligan. Here's a replay of the corner once more where she did hit herself there. And if not a hip injury, surely there's an abdominal injury. She's gonna take a moment at least. So our thoughts with Tess Quilligan. Let's show a must go on as Mariners look to go into the top 6 against Sydney FC. Shay Evans might be one to make that happen. Shay Evans just took a shot from way downtown. Not really on target, but just kept the goalkeeper on her toes. Bree Edwards in goals took over from Talia Franco midway through a match a couple of weeks ago and has been playing well. Here's Kaylee Talon-Henniker. Can she keep this in? No. Well, receives a round of applause for the effort. And this effort, no real danger for Bree Edwards. Gee, high pressure coming from Abini on Nash. Sydney know the game plan, and that's aggressive. Galich. Now Rowe, Kaylee Talon-Henniker is going to charge it down, wins it. Waits for some supporting runners. Finds one in Caspers. Caspers got to beat a couple here, sends it inside. Johnson nearly set up Tumeth, but couldn't. Chauvet, in fact. There's Tumeth. Jade Pettick runs over the tackle and both players run down into the ground. Tumeth comes up with it. Play on, says the referee. Langman dives on it at the end of an exciting passage of play, as Abini couldn't really wrangle it in. Rowe pressured her back. Oh, this is going to be intercepted by Abini. Not quite. Bryson comes in to help. Bryson on Evans. Taylor Ray gets it away. And Ray safely sends it back to Langman. So while we watch this, just an update on Quilligan, who's gone off the field entirely and up the tunnel. We will see what happens there, and I'm assuming the substitution has been made. In fact, Greta Krasula has come on. So Quilligan is off. If you're just joining us, she hit the goalpost while trying to save a corner and has gone off clutching at her hip or abdominal. So we will keep you updated as to that injury, but we hope it is nothing serious. Galich. Krasula is waiting to come on, waiting for that substitution to be made as Shay Evans gets set up on the right. Shay Evans going to beat one. She'll try it herself. Tobin's beaten. Shay Evans, can she beat the keeper? Still on her feet. Play her down. Play continues. Rowe from range. Header was too high for Rasmussen. And Faye Bryson is still on the turf. Well, we've already seen a Central Coast Mariner player down. There's the substitution for Quilligan. Krasula is on. While we see at the other end of the park, Faye Bryson injured in this confrontation with Shay Evans and her own goalkeeper, even friendly fire, as Bree Edwards ran into her. Poor communication. She stayed down during that time, and it was on the left knee that she was clutching. You can see the physios just come and sprayed some of the cold on it to keep it iced up, and maybe you hate to see it though. Knee is heavily strapped, so a pre-existing injury. Bryson is going to jog it off. See how that goes. She looks to be okay to move, so good to see. So if you are just joining us, Greta Krasula has come on for Tess Quilligan. Krasula, number 14, former Young Matilda. She's been playing in the American college system for a few years for Virginia Commonwealth University and arrived on the Central Coast this year. Still no score. Ray. There's Krasula, her first touches of the match. Beats a player as well. Nicely done. And sent over the sideline. That's disappointing. Central Coast with 3 shots on target. Sydney with 1. Both teams want to go aggressive early. Nunn, fancy footwork. Juked just about every defender. Evans now has space to move. Almost. Wow, it's getting feisty. And we thought it might. 2 very aggressive teams who both want the win. Rasmussen and Thompson exchanging words. Love to be a fly on the wall to hear what exactly was said there. And Nunn was there with Tobin, and it was Thompson who came to defend her captain. Little push and shove. Play to continue. Johnson backwards for Bryson, who's now back on the field. Looks okay. Incidental foul there, and it'll be won by Sydney. Bryson, Caspers, tapped inside, found the yellow shirt instead of blue. Nunn, nice first touch, slipped over, couldn't keep it in her grasp. Forward for Rasmussen from Evans, lovely ball forward. Rasmussen's got to keep it in, earns a corner. Did it go over the line? I would think so. Really nicely executed by Rasmussen. Set up by the initial pass from Shay Evans. And Sydney find themselves in a scoring position. Sorry, Mariners find themselves in a scoring position once more. Equal 1-on-1 corners. Taylor Ray against her old team. Miscue gets it back to her teammate. We're going to go all the way around the back row. Ray curling ball, Nunn header, and not enough on it. Bree Edwards safely gloves that. Galich against Tobin, sends it forward for Nunn. Got to finish, cannot. Bree Edwards did really well, closing down the space, coming out to meet the opportunity. Nunn had no opportunity really to shoot, just out of her grasp. Nicely done by Sydney's goalkeeper. Another corner, 2 in a row here for the Mariners. If they get on the scoreboard first, they put themselves in position to win, as Sydney has not won a game when they've conceded first. Ray, long cross, back to Nunn, who can't control it. Martin, over the top, looking for another head. Couldn't get it goalward. And it's safely sent out of danger by Sydney. Nash and Rowe just looking for a chance to go forward through Ray. Galich, Bianca Galich, trade at the goalkeeper. Bree Edwards getting really fired up at the back here. Nice strike, just not in a corner, straight at the goalkeeper, but had great power on it. So possession very much in favour of the Mariners at the moment. They tend to spend a little more time building up play from the back, whereas Sydney like to go quickly on counter-attacks, just like this. Evans really strong on the ball. Johnson. Interrupted by Galich. Oh, got behind Tumeth. Sarah Langman will collect that for a moment as the Mariners regather, set up from the back. Nash takes a run on the left. Inside for Galich. Keeps it on the left sideline. Couldn't be kept in. Brooke Nunn has to hand it over. Here comes Nash, turns the accelerator up just a little bit. Finds a new gear, interrupted by Chauvet. Oh, nice touch on for Nunn behind the back heel. She spins around and Pennock has a chance. Bottled it. And knows it too, head in the hands. She ran off from that one. This touch by Nunn and the skill to turn on the ball. Set up Pennock in the right boot. Exquisite. Chauvet controls it. Oh, nearly set up her teammate in Kaylee Talon-Henniker, who often is lurking on that left wing. Gets out in space. She has so much speed. Really dangerous to get her out in that kind of space. Thompson forced to retreat for Sydney. Tumeth. Looking for a player, nobody home. Sarah Langman's going to recollect it. So pace of the game slowing down in this past few minutes or so. Turned from end to end, which was really exciting at the start. Now it's a bit of a arm wrestle in the midfield as two players go down. The physicality of the start of the match may be taking its toll. You can see some more physicality there. Nat Tobin collecting an ankle rather than the ball. Tobin's been a real weapon for Sydney. Set up two beautiful goals last weekend. Turns defence into attack. Ray, speaking of turning defence into attack, been doing it all day. Galich sends that one high. Oh, that was dangerous. Indiana Dos Santos got a toe to it instead of a toe to the head of the other player. And Sydney can go now. Caspers, oh, that's nice. Forward for Abini, who's got to beat the other player. Mariners and Abini get tangled up. It was Jessica Nash who got there just in time, and Abini calling for a foul, if not a penalty. She was close to the box. Referee Kelly Jones keeps a whistle in her pocket and play continues. Evans goes back to Nash, who's previously played with the Sky Blues before she was at Victory. Pennock headed down. Tobin gets in the way. captain's run, does well, and getting very vocal in the face of Rasmussen as well. Tobin and Rasmussen getting increasingly chippy there. Chimeth, nice turn on the ball to get around Ray. Dos Santos, who just signed a new 2-year contract with the Sky Blues this week, staying in the A-League for another couple of years at least. Bryson forward for Kaylee Talon-Henniker. Bryson does well. 1-2 was lovely. Not quite fast enough. Got behind her. Johnson's going to reset through Chimeth. Dos Santos, one of the most skillful young players. Matilda's hopeful in future years. Chauvet, stolen away. Here come the Mariners. Pennock, Jade Pennock looking for none. Couldn't get it through to Rasmussen. Interrupted instead. Jessica Nash directing traffic from the back. Her 5th season in the A-League Women, a veteran. Speaking of, Taylor Ray, veteran pass forward to another veteran in Nat Tobin who saw that coming. Seen that one on the training ground over 7 years of playing against each other. Krasula. Nunn steps inside and beats Caspers. Straight into Chauvet there. Chauvet's going to win it back. Krasula, Nunn, quick step, finds Rasmussen, Sky Blues everywhere, Nunn takes a shot, that's going to go wide. There's Tess Quilligan. If you are just joining us, she came off earlier after hitting the post with her hip. We do think it is a hip injury. She's been down to the change room, seen the physio, has come back. She will not go back onto the pitch. Obviously got the hoodie on. Tess Quilligan injured and out for the rest of the game. That is the headline as Krasula on screen comes in to fill her place. Sydney on the attack again now. Bryson can't keep it in. Well, missing Tess Quilligan, that will be a sore point for the Mariners, who lasered a goal over the top of the keeper against the Wanderers. It was her first goal in the A-League for Quilligan, and she's just been so good recently. Disappointing to see her injured early in this match. Rowe, ball forward to Rasmussen. Chauvet. Ebini. Is she onside? I think just. Gonna have to gather it. Get around Jessica Nash. Does so. Bryson hits it at pace. Nash got in the way. Lying on the floor, but still managed to tackle. And Brooke Nunn's going to send that over the sideline. Receives a clap from Ante Uric for that burst of energy from Faye Bryson. Here they go again. Chauvet. Oh, little tap from behind from Rasmussen. Earns a free kick. Center of the field, just outside the box. This is a really good chance for Sydney FC to get on the scoreboard. Chauvet just continuously putting pressure through the midfield. Indiana Dos Santos to take the free kick. And we know this is within her range. Don't be surprised if the 17-year-old hits this toward the goal. Dos Santos to get on the scoreboard. Couldn't quite get the power on it that she needed. Sarah Langman dives on it and sends it away early. Rowe off the foot of Dos Santos. So they'll earn some territory here, the Mariners. Zula and Rowe. Nearly stolen by Caspers. Just a few minutes left in this first half. Regulation time, continuing the physicality that we saw earlier. Johnson rolls her eyes and gets back up. As the Mariners get the free. Taylor Ray moves it forward, looking for an option. Galich. Ball forward to Evans. Evans sends it to Nunn. Nunn can go. No, Panic will. And it's blocked by Bryson. Almost thought Brooke Nunn had a chance to shoot there. Didn't take it. Instead went wide and closed down the angle. Well, there were two blue shirts in her way, including Nat Tobin. So probably was not going to go toward the net. Well defended by Sydney there. Taylor Ray lines up another corner for the Mariners. Is this the one that goes in? Not that time, as Princess Abini finds herself right in the way of it. Tenth season in the A-League for Princess Abini, a one-club player, signed as a 15-year-old to the Sky Blues. And it's moments like that where she comes up clutch that you just know that signing was worth every penny. Here's Rowe. Oh, Bryson and Galich there, getting in a tangle. Bryson holds her hands out like there was nothing on, but I did see a little shirt pull, perhaps. Throw-in came from Rowe. It was when Bryson and Galich were fighting to get first on the ball that Bryson maybe just had a hand on the shoulder. So it's the Mariners' turn for a set piece in a dangerous area. The ball goes high, but it's sent away. Back into the blender. Lucy Johnson comes up with it. Everyone's out of position. Can they try a counter-attack? Not this time. Brooke Nunn's going to chase it down. Got to beat Chauvet. Being harangued by two sky blue shirts, and Sydney wins the battle. Talon Hanneke miscued it. Physical will be the headline after this match, I'm sure of it. Abini can't control it. Nearly got the head to it, but Galich got there first. Now Nash sends it out to the left side for Annabelle Martin. On the right side for Sydney's attack, Indiana Dos Santos hasn't had too many touches. Shumath and Dos Santos on that side really need to get in this game. It's when Dos Santos and Caspers collaborate that good things happen for the Sky Blues. So 3 minutes of additional injury time will be added to the first half. In an absolute arm wrestle so far. Chauvet in space, beat Nunn. Nearly got to Kaylee Talon-Henniker, but it's interrupted by Rowe and sent forward for Pennick. Jade Pennick wants to put Rasmussen in space. Couldn't get her. Nat Tobin gets away with it for the Blues. Talon-Henniker and Pennick have been battling all day. About even that duel so far. Bryson, the throw in. 1 minute expired of additional time. Who can get on the scoreboard first? Odds are in their favour to win it. Can they get on through Evans? And Rasmussen, no. Nearly collected by Crisula. Smartly done by Caspers, looking for Dos Santos. Beanie's there. Dos Santos will work inside, might receive it back. Interrupted by Evans, but Schumer gets there in time. Beanie threaded it and couldn't find her teammate Caspers. Well, Sydney can get it forward, but they cannot get a shot on target. The last 6 shots in this game have been by the Central Coast Mariners. Central Coast doing really well defending in the box so far this match. Pennick around Bryson. Got behind her, won the battle. Now she's out in space. Gonna have to slow it down though, turn the brakes on, and Bryson holds it up. Nunn. Nunn turns the corner. Pennick tried to get it through to Galich, who's come out to help out. Might get one more chance at goal before half-time, the Mariners. Brooke Nunn. Galich it is. Oh, Caspers went down and got ball, said the referee. Close one, that. As Galich went flying and took a tumble. Bree Edwards sends it back to the centre. And there is the halftime whistle here at Leichhardt Oval. The faces of these players tell the whole story in its entirety. This has been a physical battle. Really an arm wrestle end-to-end. Duel through the midfield has been very intense, led by that player, Evans, and Nunn. Had one injury so far as Tess Quilligan came off, having copped an injury to the hip. But all in all, half-time here at Leichhardt Oval. The scoreboard still reads Sydney FC 0, Central Coast Mariners 0. Let's take a look at the highlights from this match. There's been plenty of shots on target, plenty of them coming from the Mariners. Shay Evans looks almost inevitable. That one was directed well, and how it didn't go in on the second chance by Rasmussen was unbelievable. Bree Edwards with a lucky one, having made the mistake here. Rasmussen not finishing. An opportunity missed. Now that has kept Sydney in the game, and then they were given their own set of opportunities at the other end. Here's that injury to Tess Quilligan. She went diving for the ball and hit the post. That's an injury to the hip. She has come off and won't come back on. That one almost into the top netting by Tori Tuma. Sent an absolute rocket and sent goalkeeper Sarah Langman flying. And then this one-on-one was really well done by Bree Edwards in goals. Came out to meet Brooke Nunn, who had no opportunity to shoot. So that's how it's looked so far, and that's what's led us to this point. Sydney FC 0 against the Central Coast Mariners 0. Possession really favouring the Mariners, as you can see. Shots favouring the Mariners, more passes, more possession and better passing accuracy on the stats card, you'd feel like it's inevitable that the Mariners shoot first and score first. We know how lethal they can be when they score first. But Sydney, really, they're keeping in this game, and halftime might give them the extra juice they need to come back out and maybe beat the Mariners at home, take home a much-needed 3 points.
Just like living sports the 8 weeks, they're on your team too. They can provide the assist you need to get your $3 million. Living with loans for $3 million.
Halftime on the hill at Leichhardt Oval. What a place to be. Nowhere better to spend your Sunday afternoon watching the Ninja A-League with maybe some hot chips as well. That looks enjoyable. We are here at halftime, and the score is currently Sydney FC 0 to the Central Coast Mariners 0. While we wait, we're going to take a look at some highlights from the round. Last night, Melbourne Victory hosted Perth Glory, and they did enough to move into second place on the Ninja A-League ladder.
Now Melbourne Victory in the counter. And Gielnik, can she keep the ball moving at speed though? Grace Johnston has done well to get goal side here. Gielnik backs her speed. Johnston King right with her. And Gielnik drops it on the roof of the net in the end. Wynn and Bunge. Here's Murphy with the resulting free kick. Volleyed on by Bunge. A shallow clearance and the ball volleyed in. Kayla Morrison was all on her own in the penalty area. And after a fairly tame header attempt to clear, it's been gifted to Morrison, who lashed it back in. Perhaps Melbourne Victory looking to end the half a little stronger here. Murphy pops the ball over the top. Rachel Lowe will run onto it here. Cuts it across to Gilnick and blocked away by Chinema. The follow-up is saved by Dumont. Selflessly across to Gilnick there. And it was only the full-length dive from Naomi Chinema that blocked Gilnick's shot, and then Dumont was quickly out. Over to Wynn, who's gone back to the left wing, which is where she started the game. Brought down by Grace Johnston. Now Tian McKenna can't resist the invitation to shoot from distance. McKenna. Well, she's had her eye on goal today, the young defender. Chidiac. And fouled by McKenna, and referee Rachel Mitchinson has no choice but to reach for the yellow card. Here's Pickett. And now Gilnick, who's getting into the game more and more. Nicks the ball around Chinema, clips it in, and it just misses low. The attack's still alive, and a good save by Dumont. Well, great play by Gilnick, and Dumont couldn't quite bat it away. Flannery had the chance, and Dumont saving down at the near post. And they do spill possession. A little tactical win for the Glory. Can they make the most of it, though? Holler keeping possession. It's Gabby Holler. Great save by Newbon. Full stretch from the Victory keeper. McKenna, got to be careful here, McKenna, on a yellow card, has fouled Chidiac again, and Rachel Mitchinson is reaching for the pocket. Well, it's a disaster for the Glory, and a red card for Tian McKenna. Dapolonia, Flannery again. Chidiac calling for the ball, first time pass, and it slides just beyond the lunge of Rachel Lowe, who's been getting into some promising positions today, Lowe. Megan Wynn spins, delivers in, and Newbon, well, batted it down and then was first to grab the spill. Kayla, a hard-fought 3 points today. How has it left you feeling about both the performance and the ultimate outcome?
I think the performance definitely wasn't our best performance. It feels like the 3 games from last week caught up to us today more than it did for the Newcastle game. But in saying that, 3 points is 3 points. So we're happy to get a victory and, you know, get a couple points closer to City.
For a centre-back, you score a lot of goals and you picked your moment getting forward today. Just how satisfying was it to finish like that? Is that the best goal you've scored of the 11 in the league so far?
I don't know. No, I think I scored a better goal once, but that was pretty good because I think that was probably the first goal I've scored on Casey ever, even when we were training at Victory. So I'll take it.
Naomi, thanks for joining us. A tough day at the office for the Glory. How do you feel about the performance out there?
Look, we can't deny that the girls gave 100% effort, but there are things that we just need to fix, and good thing there's a short turnaround, so we got to pick up the pieces and move on quickly and learn quickly.
Certainly, it was a very disciplined defensive effort, which is perhaps why it was such a surprise that Morrison was free in the box for the only goal. It seemed as though one slip in concentration is all it took on what was otherwise a very disciplined and hard-fought defensive day.
Look, and that's football. It's a split second, and that can change the game. It can happen at the start, the end. It's just about being concentrated for the full match. And that's still something that we'll take in our stride and work on.
Halftime here at Leichhardt Oval. The score is 0-0 for Sydney FC up against the Central Coast Mariners. And if you hadn't noticed, there's so much football on right now. It is the summer of football, and there's so much to look forward to.
It's football's hottest summer.
Well, it's the gift that keeps on giving.
Well, that is just pretty to watch.
78 games across 28 days.
That is unbelievable.
It's the A-League's biggest summer of football ever.
Oh my goodness, what a strike.
Action-packed fun for everyone these holidays. Family passes start from only $24. Search A-League's tickets online to get your tickets today.
That's right, there's so much football to be watching this summer. We were watching Sydney FC just this week on Wednesday. Here they are again on Sunday night at Leichhardt Oval in front of what is building as a home crowd. The faithful have come out in force. They're out on the hill as we prepare to enter the second half of what has been an incredible duel. A couple of substitutions being made. It looks like Hawkesby will be coming on, as you can see, and Talon Henniker will come off. That'll give us a little different look up the front. Sydney been looking for all kinds of different looks as Ante Juric tries to find the best combination of players. For the Mariners, Evans has come off and Trimis will come on up front, giving us some fresh legs for the Mariners at the front. Two teams that can't be split after 45 minutes. Second 45 about to get underway. 0-0 still the scoreline, and an opportunity for the Mariners to go into the top 6 if they can get over Sydney. Meanwhile, Sydney in must-win territory, having had a very slow start to the season. Looked good on Wednesday night before the match was interrupted. They need to get some wins and need to get them now. Referee Kelly Jones blows her whistle and we start the second half. 45 minutes to determine who's going to take home 3 points from Leichhardt Oval. Second half of the Ninja A-League underway. We're in round 12. And this is where it matters, folks. The home stretch of the season. Kate Allman's my name. Pleasure to be with you as we've watched a really physical battle for the first 45. Getting increasingly chippy. A couple of players playing against their own teammates, their old teammates. Taylor Ray, one of them for the Mariners, came over from Sydney this year. And Faye Bryson came over from England. She was with the Mariners as well last season. Sydney in possession. Bryson back to Johnson, who's scored 3 goals in 3 weeks. The captain, Nat Tobin, all the way back again for Thompson. There's confirmation of that substitution for the Mariners. Trimis came on, Evans came off. And here is Trimis on the ball. Gonna take a run inside, meets 2 blue shirts. Nunn tried to nutmeg Jumeth. You won't get around her that easily. Krasula to Nunn. Krasula, who came on for Tess Quilligan. Tess Quilligan, if you are just joining us, has been substituted off after hitting the goalpost trying to save a goal and hitting it quite hard with her hip. We know she has a hip injury. She's been checked out by the physios and she is in a hoodie on the sideline. She won't come back to the game today. Rasmussen tried to beat Nat Tobin. Tobin just hooks it away. Rowe back to Nash, getting lots of pressure from Hawkesby. Mackenzie Hawkesby come on in this second half with fresh legs. Hawkesby's going to shoot. Hits a defender. Chauvet. What can the Sky Blues conjure up here? They've come out with renewed energy. no, says not in my defensive half. Brooke Nunn turns the Jets on through the midfield. She's going to beat the captain, Nat Tobin. Here's Peter Trimmis. Peter Trimmis turns inside and shoots. It came off dangerously from the hands of Edwards, my apologies, but no one there to follow up with the second strike, and Bree Edwards makes another crucial save. Trimmis couldn't get on it there, and it's going to be a battle to keep it in here. Galich does well. Ball along the baseline. Dos Santos is still standing. She can look up and look forward. Goes there. Oh, lovely threaded ball for Mackenzie Hawkesby. And one more again. Here they come, the Sky Blues. Taken down as Kaylee Talon-Haneker. Tobin looking for an option forward. She'll take it herself. Passes it back inside. Here's a chance. Crossing ball opportunity. Mackenzie Hawkesby goes back instead. Talon-Haneker. Another player caught up in a tussle. It's Lucy Johnson, and it looks like her fingers. Fortunately, you don't play football with your hands. That's a stinger, can hurt. Especially in the colder weather. It is summer, but a little nippier than it has been usually in January. Looks like she just landed on it awkwardly, jarring the fingertips. Trimmis. Deanna Dos Santos lined up against Trimmis. Hawkesby wants to pay quickly, finds a beanie. Dos Santos and Abini making little triangles. Trimmis is trying to get in the way. They set up Tumeth, who's already had one shot. She's going to cross this. And it's stolen away really well by Jessica Nash at the back. Tumeth gets it back. Tumeth, header opportunity. Dos Santos couldn't get on the end of it, and they do win the free kick, the Mariners. This one didn't really land. It was sort of in no man's land between two blue shirts. Oh, chance now for Brooke Nunn to follow. Couldn't get to it. Faye Bryson was faster. Talon-Haneker. Jessica Nash has had a couple of really important goal blocks so far. Now she takes an attacking run. Threaded it forward somehow. Found Rasmussen. Sends it wide for Pennick. Pennick jogs her way in. Takes a strike on the left boot. It sails wide. Central Coast Mariners have had 12 shots so far in this match. They average 11.5 per game, so already beating that with 52 minutes on the clock. A lot of shots, and that's credit, I guess, to Brianna Edwards from Sydney between the sticks, letting nothing in, and the defensive line playing their role as well. This is an opportunity if it can be run down, but it won't be as Sarah Langman gets to her first. Possession really favouring the Mariners. It's one of those occasions that Emily Husband would be ruining that they've not got on the scoreboard yet. All stats in favour of the yellow shirts. Panic. An acre of space, she takes it. Trimmis, touch on for Panic. This is nice. Brooke Nunn's going to cross, sized it up, sent it over the top and sent it straight to the hands of Brianna Edwards. Emily Husband right at the edge of her area as she watches opportunities like this. Getting increasingly frustrated. She said in interviews with media that her team need to try to make the most of the opportunities. That is one area they need to come up better in. With all of the shots and all of the possession the Mariners have had, nothing to show for it on the scoreboard. And it just keeps the door ajar for Sydney FC to come back in at any moment. Possession does not win football games, unfortunately. Ray through the middle, nearly hit the referee. And a free kick awarded as Rasmussen taken to the turf. So this will be an interesting one. About 10 yards out from the penalty area. And right in the center of the park. Emily Husband is on the edge of her standing area. Here they come. Kick is long and high from Annabelle Martin. Rain starts to fall on the Sky Blues home turf as the possession goes increasingly in favour of the Mariners. It is desperate times for Sydney, must-win territory. If they don't start racking up points, they are going to find themselves well out of the top six. It's an unfamiliar place. Been to more grand finals than any other team in recent years. Martin. That's lovely. Brooke Nunn can collect it. Maybe a little too long, but she'll have a chance to redirect and sent away by Mackenzie Hawkesby. Abini tried to turn the corner. Couldn't get through. Martin was there, and she'll keep it in. Martin, tail up now. Confidence building. Brooke Nunn shoots it forward. Trimmis can't get that high. Panic does a 360. Panic taken down. No foul. Panic still going. And now Trimmis. Well, Brianna Edwards came up clutch once more and got to the ball first. Gee, Brianna Edwards has been putting in a resume for that top goalkeeper spot. She came on halfway through a match a couple of weeks ago as Talia Franco made a big mistake. Came on halfway, started the last match, and has been kept there as Ante Uric has liked what he's seen. Fifteen shots now racked up for the Central Coast Mariners compared to 3 for Sydney. Krasula. Ray. Now Martin. Dos Santos is going to collect it. And that'll be a Sky Blue throw-in on the sideline, deep in their defending territory. Beanie got it from Hawkesby, who did really well in a crowd. Now Tuman's going to send it through Tobin and direct it to the other side. They can set up on the left now. Bryson being run down by Pennick. Moves it forward just in time. Talon Hanneke. Talon Hanneke kicks it to herself. Can she keep it in? No. The pace of Talon Hanneke continues to threaten on the left side for the Mariners. Bryson headed down for a Beanie. Mackenzie Hawkesby. Now Johnson. Johnson winding up from the same spot. She's scored 2 of her 3 goals. She is known for long-range goals, Lucy Johnson. So well within her range and her rights to take a shot from there. Hawkesby integral to that passage. Talon Hanneke, a Beanie. Players going to ground everywhere. There is a lot in this game. You can see how much the 3 points means to both teams. Johnson. Chauvet couldn't connect. So much space in behind, just couldn't time the run for a Beanie and Dos Santos. Bryson, the former Mariner, came over with her partner Kaya Simon this year. Dos Santos is putting high pressure on Sarah Langman. Here's Bryson. Nearly tripped over. Chauvet, long-range effort, looked for Dos Santos and couldn't connect. Of course, Indiana Dos Santos was headline news this week. She signed a 2-year extension to her contract and widely regarded as one of the brightest young talents in Australian football. It'd be right to try and put her out in space one-on-one with the keeper. 17 years old. She debuted at 15 years old and was the club's youngest ever championship winner. Mariners take their time setting up at the back. Taylor Ray's got her eyes up, finds Garlich next to her. Garlich, who caps for the Croatian national team. Ray. Nunn. Rasmussen, got to do a twirly-whirly through 3 players. Oh, there was a shirt pull, not seen by the referee, and the Blues go forward. Beanie's offside, got to leave that behind. The Sydney FC Cove faithful getting louder as this game gets increasingly tense. 62 minutes in, no score yet. Maybe one coming. Mackenzie. Hawkesby looking for a Beanie. Beanie on the right side. Got to beat Ray. Sends it in. Dangerous spot. And here's Indiana Dos Santos. Hawkesby tried to collect it. And just a little too soft on the ball. Now a chance for Rasmussen at the other end. Trimis. Schumer collects it instead. Heavy contact. Hawkesby sends it forwards. Dos Santos is still chasing this. Nabini's chasing it too. Got to get rid of it, Langman. Well, Dos Santos has had a couple of moments. Never really found the space to shoot with accuracy and confidence. Sydney are taking their time to build up the play. Bryson. Faye Bryson's found her way to the right side of the pitch now. Big ball forward into a sea of yellow shirts. Beanie couldn't get there. Dos Santos putting high pressure on again. Langman's got to get rid of it through Nash. Hawkesby. Dos Santos still putting the pressure on, but Ray gets it. Panic lofts one over to the right side. Brooke Nunn can collect in stride. Instead collected the player, but no free given, none. Nunn takes a run, now Gullidge. Gullidge inside to Trimis. Trimis in a dangerous position, but couldn't get the power on it that it deserved. Well, Peter Trimis may be the spark the Mariners need. Came on at halftime. Indiana Dos Santos is in a dangerous spot now. Fancy footwork through to Johnson. Johnson already scored 3 in the season. Abini winds up and shoots that over the top. This was never really going into the net. Went over the top. Indiana Dos Santos, who put all the work in, is going to take this corner. Try to set up Sydney. Headed away. Headed back into the blender. Still up in the air. Headed goalward finally. Into the hands of Langman. Well, that's a nice run by Peter Trimis. She's got pace on her, Trimis, but oh wow, what a tackle by Chauvet. A deserved round of applause for Margot Chauvet. That slide tackle interrupted a really aggressive run by Trimis. When she gets out in space, you never know what's going to happen. Well, there is a game-changing substitution. Luchtmeyer is going to come on, and Indiana Dos Santos is coming off. Luchtmeyer, the 17-year-old, they have a team of teenagers almost, this Sydney FC side. Luchtmeyer took out the New South Wales NPL Golden Boot this year. She scored 17 goals in 19 matches for the Macarthur Bulls. Clearly, bringing her on in the second half, you know what she's there to do. She has one job, and that is find the scoreboard. Ante Uric given his instructions. Indiana Dos Santos couldn't get there. Can Luchtmeyer. Not if the Mariners have their say. Galich gonna set up Martin. Martin's got to beat Schumann. Martin curls one in, headed upwards, not out of danger. Oh, that's bounced terribly for Sydney. And they get the free kick. And a reprieve. Really nervy moments for the Sydney FC defence. Thompson sent that way too high. Couldn't get it directed out of danger. Back into the centre of the park. Luchtmeyer gets a first touch. It's a header to Abini. Abini roughed around by two yellow players. Johnson sends it backwards to go forwards through Chauvet. Chauvet bumped into Rasmussen, and Brooke Nunn's going to get away with the ball. And then, well, that was coming. Yellow card for Chauvet for a little bit of extracurricular. It was this moment that was probably unnecessary. Nunn was out in space and arguably going to go straight through. She had an open park ahead of her. Chauvet, possibly a bit of a professional foul there. Prevented the run from Nunn. Deserved the yellow card, certainly. Anyway, now Sydney have a chance to get every defender back. No love lost between those two players. Ray gets it around the attacking blue players. And another player down. This time, the free kick given to the Central Coast Mariners, despite the fact that Lucy Johnson is on the ground clutching at her right knee. Knee-to-knee contact with Jade Pennick appears to be the damage. And the extent of the damage remains to be seen. Yellow card given. Call reversed. It will go the way of Sydney. So in the space of about a minute, two players earn themselves yellow cards, one from each side. Probably about fair, given the physicality of this match. Johnson, opportunity for Luchtmeyer. That's not out of danger yet for the Mariners. Luchtmeyer getting involved with the extracurricular. Comes up big. Wins the free. First it was pointing for the Sky Blues, then it was pointing for the Mariners. So the Mariners will get the free kick. Annabelle Martin gets up shaking her head as the 17-year-old Luchtmeyer shows she can give as good as she gets. Oh, dangerous moments here. Johnson steals it away. Abini did all the hard work and Johnson just gave it back to the defence for the Mariners. Tumeth, Johnson's going to work her way back into it. Nutmeg the defender. Martin got in the way instead. This is such a midfield battle now. Ray's going to get it out of the midfield, back to the goalkeeper to go forwards through Nash. Nash looks for an option. Takes a little trot forwards. Goes to Galich, safe hands, safe feet of the captain. Hawkesby wins it for the Sky Blues. Luchtmeyer looked forwards and found a teammate. And back to Luchtmeyer now. And Luchtmeyer taken down. Free kick awarded to the Mariners. Advantage paid. No free kick. Play continues. Johnson hoofs that just to nobody. Hoped to curl it, I believe, towards Talon Henniker.
Substitution for Central Coast Mariners.
So another substitution being made. Rasmussen's going to come off, and Fuller, Tiana Fuller, will come on. 16-year-old academy product, signed her first pro contract this year. Speaking of fresh legs, don't get much fresher. Rasmussen gets a high five from the bench. Done well, but couldn't find a chance to get into the net and on the scoreboard. So it's going to be up to the junior Matilda Tiana Fuller. Martin stepping in front of Luchtmeyer, held the space really well. Set up for Nunn. Nunn's got space, she's got pace, and she's going to take it on herself. Brooke Nunn. Forward for Trimmis. Nice pass. Trimmis crossing into Bryson's leg. And that will earn the Central Coast Mariners a corner after a really well-worked passage of play. Good defence by Bryson to get in the way, but it was all about the run by Brooke Nunn. Love to watch a player who sees space in front of her and decides to take it, takes the game on. Taylor Ray is going to play this fast. Krasula. Ray. Backwards to Rowe. Rowe and Nat Tobin got to it first. A little bit of aerial ping pong and it gets out of danger for Sydney FC. Nash. Rowe out wide to Martin. Martin curling ball and the chest of Nat Tobin interrupts. Jade Pennick's gonna try her luck. Pennick. Trimmis. Trimmis! Saved. Well, of course it was. Bree Edwards has done that all day. Why stop now? Mariners are going to have to be really clever getting around Bree Edwards. They've taken a lot of shots, but perhaps their downfall is none of them have been particularly difficult to save. 16 shots for the Mariners, 8 of those on target. There's an offside called on Mackenzie Hawkesby, but I was saying Mariners have taken 16 shots, none of them bothering Bree Edwards. Certainly not in the second half. A couple of close ones in the first half. We've spoken about how physical the battle has been. There's been 9 fouls by the Mariners. They average 8 per game, so already this is an above-average physical contest. Yellow cards on both sides. Brooke Nunn, the midfield gadget, sets up Galich. And Galich sets up Martin. It's interrupted by Luchtmeyer. Back to a dangerous spot. Sent forward again. Luchtmeyer. Eyes up and forwards. Couldn't connect with Nat Tobin. Martin calls for a player to come to her. Instead, they go away and they're going to win it here. Galich has to beat Tobin, does so. Tobin ends up on the turf. Galich is still going, going to cross it in for Trimmis to head it. And it's headed away and over the goal line. Wide once more. Another substitution being made for Sydney. Shay Connors is coming on. Princess Abini is coming off. We know Shay Connors is a powerful goal scorer. Takes the most shots of anyone on the team. Can she be the difference maker? Which team is going to score first? Luchtmeyer out in space, heads it onto herself. Luchtmeyer got to be clever here. Defenders really nicely done. Chance for them to follow up through Talon Henniker and couldn't get the shot away. Sydney FC. Opportunity gone begging, and an opportunity at the other end for Fuller. Tiana Fuller, a youngster against the veteran, Nat Tobin. Now Brooke Nunn. Nunn curls one across, looking for Trimis, and that's a little too long. Wow, end-to-end stuff. Peter Trimis, one of the talented young forwards for this Mariners side, can be a game changer and a game breaker. But they need to have some better looks, the Mariners. Got to be patient, build it up. Mackenzie Hawkesby's going to build this up through Luchtmeyer once more. Luchtmeyer turns around, does a spin. Shay Connors first touches, not very good one there. Straight to Pennick. Tobin's moved herself forward to help out in the fray. Tobin. And that one's really no trouble for Sarah Langman. Every time Nat Tobin takes a run forward, most of the time, like that, through the midfield, she sets up an assist that leads to a goal. She has done so in the past couple of games. Last 2 goals on Wednesday night were set up by the exact same type of run. So I don't think Ante Uric minds it at all when his defender comes forward in that manner. Chauvet taken to ground, and the Mariners win the battle. Brooke Nunn chips it forward for Pennick. Pennick chips it forward for Trimis, and it's a little too long. Bree Edwards was shouting some instructions there, getting frustrated with her back line. Ante Uric got the puffer on now in the middle of January. It's a warm crowd at the home side of Sydney FC, but ice cold on the pitch, the ice cold battle. 2 teams that have really shown there's no love lost between them. The M1 derby of the Australian football. Sydney and Central Coast separated by the M1 highway only. Chance now to go forwards. Johnson had a look at goal. Luchtmeyer sent it back to her. Johnson, nice one inside for Tumeth. Threads it for Luchtmeyer, and there was a miscommunication with Hawkesby. Didn't open up a chance. Brooke Nunn turns the Jets on. We've seen her do this before. Trimis. Interrupted by Nat Tobin. Johnson turns upfield. Luchtmeyer gets a touch on for Shay Connors, who can shoot, but 2 players close her down just in time. Mariners' defense scrambling has been exquisite. Sydney really getting no looks to have a strong shot at goal. Nunn takes the time and decides to chip it out to Ray. Nash, lofty ball forwards, hits a blue head. Brooke Nunn comes up with it. And Jade Pennick's going to run forward now. Jade Pennick from distance. And it just sails over the crossbar again. She has a little giggle because I think she knows that was really not much hope of coming down. Maybe a mishit. Has a little giggle with Bryson. 2 of those played in the Women's Super League together, of course. Jade Pennick's on loan from Birmingham City. was Sheffield's highest ever championship goal scorer in the championship. Right now, Taylor A is going to send this in and try and get her team on the scoreboard first. A big double fist from Bree Edwards. And the crowd cheers. They're on their feet as Bree Edwards sent forward Kaylee Talon-Henniker into space. Talon-Henniker's going to run the whole length of the pitch. She's interrupted. A crucial tackle by Nash. And now Fuller's going to go the other way. She decides to slow it down just a moment. Again, the crowd are on their feet as Lookmeyer's going to put in a foot race to get there first. Lookmeyer. Langman gets to it. Well, Amber Lookmeyer, the 17-year-old scoring sensation out of the New South Wales National Premier League, had a ping. And I think that's exactly what Ante Uric wants to see from her. I was actually having a chat with Leah Blaney, the Young Matildas head coach, now going to the Japanese national team, former Young Matildas head coach. Recommended that Lookmeyer has got to get in this game to be part of the change. Here comes Kaylee Talon-Henniker. Talon-Henniker met the feet of Jessica Nash. She's put in a real shift today, Talon-Henniker. Well, Talon-Henniker put in so much work against Canberra. Nearly got on the scoreboard. Can they do it here? Sydney FC. Header goes up. Shot from range. It's Lucy Johnson. Who else? And that one couldn't be directed netward. Instead, it goes over the goal line. And Sydney faithful left thinking what could have been. 5 minutes regulation time left in this game. Desperation increasing for both sides who really need 3 points. Mariners to get into the top 6. Sydney FC to keep their season alive, having not officially won a match since November. They were in the driver's seat to win on Wednesday night, but of course that result is yet to be determined. We'll wait for an update from the APL as to what's happening as McMahon looks to be coming on for the Mariners. And Greta Krasula comes off. Lily McMahon, academy product. Another first year in the pro leagues. Brooke Nunn and Tori Tumeth. Oh my goodness me. What exactly occurred there? Enough for a yellow card for sure. Frustration really setting in here. Tumeth had the audacity to actually throw the ball at the head of Brooke Nunn. Wow. Well, if you were wondering what this game means, you can see it right there. That's exactly what it means, everything. These two teams both need a win and will do just about anything to get it. Shay Connors was closing down on that, couldn't get there. Tumeth. I wonder if as the frustration sets in, these two teams lose a bit of composure in the build-up. Brooke Nunn. Trimmis on the right. Trimmis takes a run through. Fancy footwork, stepped over it, crossing. Sent away by Nat Tobin. Another substitution being made for Sydney this time. Talon-Henniker is coming off and Abby Lemon is coming on. A versatile player. She's going to go in the striker line. Abby Lemon. As Talon Henniker runs around the back. Maximise the time on the park. Connors. Bryson shifted forward for Hawkesby. Now might be an opportunity for Sydney. Not that time. Abby Lemon was closing. She'll get the throw in. Just under 2 minutes left of regulation time. Bryson comes in to help out. Skips through 2 yellow shirts. Finds Johnson. Johnson dispossessed. Chauvet. Chauvet strikes and Chauvet misses. Well, Sarah Langman, who's had 3 clean sheets this season. Kept the clean sheets so far. Boots it as hard as she can into the centre of the park. Falls to the advantage of Pennick. Oh, nearly got out for Fuller. Pennick, she'll get Fuller this time. Fuller can take it at stride. Got to beat Nat Tobin. Really well defended. Fuller gets around. Nunn couldn't collect Martin. Another opportunity gone begging. McMahon came on for Krasula. There's confirmation of that substitute. Sydney's turn to return serve. This is their favourite way to attack through Faye Bryson. Lemon couldn't keep it in. Well, the rain stopped. It's dry out there, but the skies are grey for Sydney FC, and the sun just refuses to rise yet on their season. They need to get something going here, as that's not what they need. Hawkesby came running through and clipped Martin on the way. It looked to be accidental the way she's helping her up. Four minutes of injury time will be added as we take another look at how that occurred. Hawkesby clipping Martin on the way through. Galich. Galich takes a run. Lichtmeyer just got it straight back from the back heel of Tuma. Not on the same page, those two. Ante Euro standing up, shouting instructions. Quick ball forward. Couldn't get Tiana Fuller. Bree Edwards, who's been outstanding so far this game for Sydney FC. Launched forward. Tapped on by Johnson. Headed down, trying to find Lichtmeyer. Galich has a Hawkesby at her back. They have to go all the way back to the keeper. Nash. Lemon chases this down against Rowe. Rowe's throw in for the Mariners. Crowd noise rising. If they're going to go, they need to go now for Sydney FC. Likewise, the Mariners, their turn. Ball forward. Rowe with the throw in. Big throw. Finds a sky blue head. Just booted back and forward at the moment. There's more time than you think. 4 minutes of injury time can be an eternity. Trimus. Trimus, nice touch onward. Had a shot, couldn't get through the defence. Mariners still in possession. Fuller. Fuller, curving cross, headed away. Lichtmeyer's going to help through. just over a minute left of the extra 4 that were added to regulation time. At this moment, it looks like the points are going to be shared unless something can happen in the next minute or thereabouts. Both teams desperate to make something happen for their side. Luchtmeyer out in space. She wants it from Lemon. She's got it. Luchtmeyer on the left boot. Can she shoot it? She does. And it's saved by Sarah Langman. Well, that's the best look Sydney FC have had all game. Lemon just couldn't get to her quick enough, and Luchtmeyer was screaming as she ran up the park in space. That was the chance. One of the very few Sydney have had to all of the chances the Mariners have had. Lemon once more. Well, that feels like a fitting end to this arm wrestle here at Leichhardt Oval. Disappointment for both sides, as both really needed 3 points, but they will take a point each out of this round 12 clash. No win, no loss. Both sides remain undefeated in 2025, and the Sky Blues, skies remain grey here at Leichhardt Oval. So full time here in round 12 of the Ninja A-League. Sydney FC 0, Central Coast Mariners 0. Let's take a look at the highlights from this game. It was an end-to-end battle, and Mariners with the early shots. Shay Evans nearly getting on the scoreboard really early. Brianna Edwards saving, and Rasmussen on the second attempt. That was the best look they've had, I'd say, all game. And it would have changed the script.